All right, YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. We're talking about Auburn football. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. All right, so we have the season preview series here for the Auburn Tigers. This is episode number 3. We're going to be talking about the Kentucky Wildcats and the Auburn Tigers. Over the years, Auburn has pretty much dominated this particular rivalry. As a matter of fact, this is one of those intriguing SEC matchups, even before the conference realignment, which caused Auburn to play some of their more familiar Southeastern Conference, Eastern Division opponents every 8 years. Even before that, Kentucky was one of those teams that Auburn would play somewhat occasionally. There might be 4 years in between. There might even be 10, but this is not particularly a huge rivalry in the SEC in general, especially not in football. Now, it's starting to kind of heat up in basketball as Auburn has gained some ground with some recruits and talents and things of that nature to where now they can actually halfway compete with Kentucky. But in football, this is not particularly the game of the week on, CBS. So the intriguing part about this is over the last 3 matchups, Auburn has won the ball games, but they've only won by no more than 7 points. These games have been really close. As a matter of fact, 2 of them were by 3 points. One of which was a scare up in Lexington, Kentucky, during Auburn's 2010 run, where Auburn beat Kentucky 34-31 in that particular game, which gave them even more momentum and more push, which gave Auburn even more momentum and more push going into the latter part of the season and culminating with a huge win over South Carolina, subsequently beating Pac-12 champion Oregon in the BCS National Championship. Auburn not only appeared in that championship in 2010, but they appeared in the last stop for the BCS in 2013, losing to Florida State by 3 points. Auburn really has to be careful in this particular football game. Kentucky has done a much better job of recruiting. They seem to have a lot more, as far as pride in their program. They're not going to play Auburn. Auburn cannot take this team lightly because the games have been close for the past few years. They absolutely cannot take this particular game lightly. Auburn is already looking at a sneaky, tough schedule. So the thing is, if Auburn is going to be successful against a team like Kentucky, what they're going to have to do, you definitely have to get off to a fast start. This is not the kind of game that you want Kentucky to still be hanging around in the third quarter with a chance, kind of like that Ole Miss game from last year. This is one of those teams that if you keep letting them hang around, they could give you some trouble in the fourth quarter. This game scares me, guys. This game against Kentucky really scares me because they have improved, and these guys are playing at a, not necessarily a high level, but this is a team that if you come with the wrong mindset, you could get beat. Now, luckily for Auburn, this will be a home game. Auburn tends to play pretty well at home. I don't know, of course, one, whether the college football season will even be played or not, but 2, this is one of those games that could possibly, I don't know what the rest of the SEC schedule is. This more than likely will either be a 12 o'clock ESPN game, or it could get the 4 o'clock spot on the SEC network. But either way, really looking forward to seeing this game. Let me know what you guys think about this Kentucky game. This one kind of scares me a little bit. Once again, it's Kennard Stewart here for the podcast. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.